Good day, everyone. Our topic for today would be about creating brand equity. One of the most valuable intangible assets of the firm is its brands, and it is incumbent on marketing to properly manage their value. Building a strong brand is both an art and a science. It requires careful planning, a deep long-term commitment, and creatively designed and executed marketing. A strong brand commands intense consumer loyalty, and at its heart is a great product or service, and building a strong brand is a never-ending process. Marketers of successful 21st century brands must excel at the strategic brand management process. Strategic brand management combines the design and implementation of marketing activities and programs to build, measure, and manage brands to maximize their value. We have here the 4 steps of strategic brand management. First is identifying and establishing brand positioning. Second, planning and implementing brand marketing. Third, measuring and interpreting brand performance. And last is the growing and sustaining brand value. Before we proceed, ato sang hibaloon kung unsa day ng brand. So what is brand? Actually, a brand refers to a business and marketing concept that helps people identify a particular company or product. Brands are usually intangible, which means dili nimo siya makita ug dili pud nimo siya mahawidan. It's just that brands help shape people's perceptions of companies, their products, or the individuals. So, kaning brand, ga-consist ni siya og tanan nga features nga ga-distinguish sa goods and services nga gina-offer sa isa ka company. So, mao na siya ang brand. Brands identify the maker of a product and allow consumers to assign responsibility for its performance to that maker or distributor. Brands perform a number of functions for both consumers and firms. We are now here on the role of brands. First, we have the brand's role for consumers, and second, the brand's role for firms. First, let's tackle about the brand role for consumers. So, the brand's role for consumers is that it sets consumers' expectations and reduce their risk. A brand is a promise between the firm and the consumer. It is a means to set consumers' expectations and reduce the risk. In return for customer loyalty, the firm promises to reliably deliver a predictably positive experience and set of desirable benefits with its products and services. A brand may even be predictably unpredictable if that is what consumers expect. But the key is that it fulfills or exceeds customer expectations in satisfying their needs and wants. Brands can also take on personal meaning to consumers and become an important part of their identity. They can express who consumers are or who they would like to be. For some consumers, brands can even take on human-like characteristics. Brand relationships, like any relationship, are not cast in stone, and marketers must be sensitive to all the words and actions that might strengthen or weaken customer or consumer ties. We are now on the brand's role for firms. Brands also perform valuable functions of firms. First is that they simplify product handling by helping organize inventory and accounting records. And second is that the brand is the firm's legal protection for unique features or aspects of the product. The brand name can be protected through registered trademarks. Manufacturing processes can be protected through patents, and packaging can be protected through copyrights and proprietary designs. These intellectual property rights ensure that the firm can safely invest in the brand and reap the benefit of a valuable asset. A credible brand signals a certain level of quality, so satisfied buyers can easily choose the product again. Brand loyalty provides predictability and security of demand for the firm, and it creates barriers to entry that make it difficult for other firms to enter the market. Although some competitors usahay ilang i-duplicate ilahang awaton ang manufacturing processes and product design sa isa ka company, but they cannot easily match lasting impressions left in the minds of individuals and organizations by years of favorable product experiences and marketing activity. So in this sense, branding can be a powerful means to secure a competitive advantage. And sometimes marketers don't see the real importance of brand loyalty until they change a crucial element of the brand. What is branding? Branding is the process of endowing products and services with the power of a brand. It is all about creating differences between products. Marketers need to teach consumers who the product is by giving it a name and other brand elements to identify it, as well as what the product does and why consumers should care. Branding creates mental structures that help consumers organize their knowledge about products and services in a way that it clarifies their decision making and, in the process, provides value to the firm. For branding strategies to be successful and brand value to be created, consumers must be convinced there are meaningful differences among brands in the product or service category. Brand differences often relate to attributes or benefits of the product itself. Successful brands are seen as genuine, real, and authentic in what they sell as well as who they are. A successful brand makes itself an indispensable part of its customers' lives. Let us now proceed to defining brand equity. Brand equity is the added value endowed to products and services with consumers. It may be reflected in the way consumers think, feel, and act with respect to the brand, as well as in the prices, market share, and profitability it commands. Next is the customer-based brand equity. It is the differential effect brand knowledge has on consumer response to the marketing of that brand. So a brand has a positive customer-based brand equity when consumers react more favorably to a product and in the way it is marketed when the brand's is identified than when it is not identified. So a brand has negative customer-based brand equity if consumers react less favorably to marketing activity for the brand under the same circumstances. So mo to siya, positive customer-based brand equity kung positive ang responses sa imuhang consumers and negative kung negative pod ang or less favorably ang mga responses sa imuhang consumers. Next is the brand promise. So, brand promise is the marketer's vision of what the brand must be and do for customers. There are also 3 ingredients of customer-based brand equity. First is that brand equity arises from differences in consumer response. Second is that the differences in response are a result of consumers' brand knowledge, all the thoughts, feelings, images, experiences, and beliefs associated with the brand. And third is that brand equity is reflected in perceptions, preferences, and behavior related to all aspects of the marketing of a brand. In this slide, or in this table, we can see the marketing advantages of strong brands. Improved perceptions of product performance, greater loyalty, less vulnerability to competitive marketing actions, less vulnerability to marketing crisis, larger margins, more inelastic consumer response to price increases, more elastic consumer response to price decreases, greater trade, cooperation, and support, increased marketing communications effectiveness, possible licensing opportunities, additional brand extension opportunities, improved employee recruiting and retention, and greater financial market returns. Now, let us continue to the brand equity models. So, in this chapter, there are 3 brand equity models. First is the brand asset valuator model, the brand dynamics model, and the brand resonance pyramid. We have here the first model, the Brand Asset Valuator model. So the advertising agency, Young and Rubicam, or the Y&R, developed a model of brand equity called the Brand Asset Valuator, or the BAV. According to BAV, or Brand Asset Valuator, there are four key components or pillars of brand equity. These are the energized differentiation, relevance, esteem, and knowledge. First key component of the brand asset valuator is the energized differentiation. Energized differentiation is the brand's point of difference. It relates to margins and cultural currency, and this energized differentiation measures the degree to which a brand is seen as different from others, as well as its pricing power. So from the word differentiation, it means kung unsay nakalahi sa imuhang brand sa other brand, as well as sa imuhang pricing power. Next is the relevance. Relevance is about on how appropriate the brand is to you, relates to consideration and trial. This relevance measures the appropriateness of brand and the brand's appeal. And next key component of BAV or BAV is the esteem. Esteem is about on how you regard the brand. It relates to perceptions of quality and loyalty. And esteem measures perceptions of quality and loyalty, or how well the brand is regarded and respected. And the last key component is the knowledge. It is about on the intimate understanding of the brand, and it relates to awareness and consumer experience. It also measures, or knowledge measures, how aware and familiar consumers are with the brand and the depth of their experience. Energize, differentiation, and relevance combine to determine brand strength. And brand strength is a leading indicator that predicts future growth value. And next is that esteem and knowledge together create brand stature, or it is a report card of past performance and a lagging indicator of current operating value. So mo to siya ang energized, differentiation plus relevance. Pag makombine sila, magdetermine siya sa brand strength. And the esteem and knowledge, kung i-combine siya, mag-create siya og brand stature. So the relationships among these dimensions, a brand's pillar pattern, reveal much about a brand's current and future status. So brand strength and brand stature combine to form the power grid, depicting stages in the cycle of brand development in successive quadrants. Strong new brands show higher levels of energized differentiation and energy than relevance, whereas both esteem and knowledge are lower still. We have here the universe of brand performance. Kining universe of brand performance, this is under the brand asset valuator model. We can see here that leadership brands show high levels on all pillars with strength greater than stature. So as strength slips, they become mass market brands. And finally, declining brands show high knowledge, evidence of past performance, a lower level of esteem, and even lower relevance and energized differentiation. According to brand asset valuator analysis, consumers are concentrating their devotion and purchasing power on an increasingly smaller portfolio of special brands, brands with energized differentiation that keep evolving. So these brands that keep on evolving connect better with consumers, commanding greater usage loyalty and pricing power, and creating greater shareholder value. By plotting a representative group of brand scores for both strength and stature, this matrix derived from the brand asset valuator, which is the universe of brand performance, shows an accurate picture of a brand status and overall performance. So in the upper left, here are the brands that have low brand strength but high potential. They have built some energy and relevance but are known to only a relatively small audience. Consumers are expressing curiosity and interest. So meaning, kaning diri sa upper left, low ang iyahang brand strength pero naa siya potential sa market, and ang atuang mga consumers is kanang curious sila or naa sila interest, or maybe they are willing to purchase the product soon. In the upper right, kaning leadership, these brands have become irresistible, combining high brand strength with high brand stature. They have high earnings, high margin power, and the greatest potential to create future value. And there is a lower left, mo ni siya diri giplat ang mga brands with both low brand stature and low brand strength are not well known among the general population. Many are new entrants, others are middling brands that have lost their way. Diri pud sa declining, diri sa lower right, mo ni siya ang mga brands di ari nga ga-show why high brand stature by itself is insufficient for maintaining a leading position. It is because that they struggle to overcome what consumers already know about and expect for them. The second model of brand equity is the brand dynamics model. This brand dynamics employs a set of simple scores that summarize brand's equity and are relatable directly to real-world financial and business outcomes. Brand dynamics maintain that three different types of brand associations are crucial for building customer predispositions to buy a brand, meaningful, different, and salient brand associations. In this brand dynamics model, we can see here the illustration. First, from the brand associations. So, it has to maintain the three different types of brand associations that are crucial for building customer predisposition. The meaningful, different, and salient. And then, sunod ana isang predisposition, and the three important outcome measures, diri na ang power, premium, potential, then dito na din siya sa market. The success of a brand along those three dimensions in turn is reflected in three important outcome measures. So these are the three important outcome measures of brand dynamics model. These are the power, premium, and potential. This power is a prediction of the brand's volume share. And the premium is the brand's ability to command a price premium relative to the category average. And the third is potential, the probability that a brand will grow value share. So according to this model, the brand dynamics, how well a brand is activated in the marketplace and the competition that exists there will determine how strong brand predisposition ultimately translates into sales. The third and last model for brand equity is the brand resonance pyramid. The brand resonance model views brand building as an ascending series of steps. Ascending meaning from bottom to top. Makita nato diri sa illustration, there is a figure, there is a left side. First, diha kanang nasa pinakaubos kay identify who you are. So, first is you have to ensure customers' identity or ensuring customers' identity or identify the brand and associate with a specific product class or need. And second, meaning or who you are. Firmly establishing the brand meaning in customers' minds by strategically thinking a host of tangible and intangible brand associations. Third is the response, or it is what about you? It is about eliciting the proper customer responses in terms of brand-related judgment and feelings. And the fourth is the relationships. What made you and me? It is on converting customers' brand responses to intense active loyalty. According to this brand resonance pyramid or the brand resonance model, enacting the four steps means establishing a pyramid of 6 brand building blocks as illustrated. Ang six brand building blocks mo ni siya ang salience, performance, imagery, judgments, feelings, and resonance. Brand salience is how often and how easily customers think of the brand under various purchase or consumption situations, or it is the depth and breadth of brand awareness. Brand silence meaning kanang ang pag-ila sa imuha sa mga customers, giun sa nila paghuna-huna ang imuhang brand. Second, the brand performance is about how well the product or service meets customers' functional needs. And the third, the imagery or the brand imagery, it describes the extrinsic properties of the product or service, including the ways in which the brand attempts to meet customers or consumers' psychological or social needs. And the fourth one is the judgments or brand judgments. It focuses on customers' own personal opinions and evaluations. Judgment meaning giunsa pag tan-aw sa imuha sa consumer, sa customers, giunsa nila unsa ilang mga evaluation about sa imong brand ug unsa ang ilang mga opinion. Fifth is the feelings. Feelings or brand feelings are customers' emotional responses and reactions with respect to the brand. Ilahang emotional feelings, ilahang emotional nga mga responses and reactions. And lastly, brand resonance. This describes the relationship customers have with the brand and the extent to which they feel they're in sync with it. So, resonance is the intensity of customer psychological bond with the brand and the level of activity it engenders. Brands with high resonance includes Harley, mga example niya, Harley Davidson, Apple, and eBay, and also Fox News has found that the higher levels of resonance and engagement in its programs engender often lead to greater recall to of the ads in runs. Man tay 4 stages of brand development. There is a first which is to identify or who you are. Ang iyahang branding objective is ang deep, broad brand awareness since it is about how aware or what people or consumers think about your brand. Second is the meaning or what are you. So the branding objective of this stage is that it points of parity and differences. Unsa may nakalahi sa imuha sa uban nga brands. The third is the response. What about you? The branding objective for that is the positive, accessible reactions. Kaya ang kaning response mo ni siyang evaluations or ang judgment sa imuhang mga consumers sa imuhang brand. And the last, the relationships or what about you and me. The branding objective of that is that intense, active loyalty. Brands are not built by advertising alone. Customers come to know a brand through a range of contacts and touch points, such as personal observation and use, word of mouth, interactions with company personnel, online or telephone experiences, and payment transactions. Now, what is a brand contract? A brand contract is any information bearing experience, whether positive or negative, a customer or prospect has with a brand and its product category or its market. The company must put as much effort into managing these experiences as into producing its ads. Any brand contact can affect consumers' brand knowledge and the way they think, feel, or act toward the brand. Marketers are creating brand contacts and building brand equity through new avenues such as online clubs and consumer communities, trade shows, event marketing, sponsorship, factory visits, public relations, and press releases, and also social cause marketing.